Well, I care about you so much, and I wanna help, I do. But sometimes the words you're saying, oh, they just don't make it through. I see your lips are moving, and to my great dismay, I know that you are talking, but I can't hear what you say. And I wanna wipe those tears from your pretty big brown eyes and keep those buxom cheeks from getting all baptized. I wanna steal the pain right from your face and throw it all away. Well, I see your lips are moving, but I can't hear what you say. No, I can't hear you, baby, though I'm listening so hard. I could hear a pin dropping up there through the stars. Perhaps we should just shut our mouths and give them a good rest. Let our bodies do the talking in the language we know best. I wouldn't blame you if you have to go. You gotta do what's best for you. But I ain't ever gonna hear you when you're whispering to do. Let's give it one more night. Lay with me and stay. Well, I see your lips are moving, but I can't hear what you say. No, I can't hear you, baby, though I'm listening so hard. I could hear a pin dropping up there through the stars. Perhaps we should just shut our mouths and give them a good rest. Let our bodies do the talking in the language we know best.
First song, it's all about setting the mood with the first song, you know. So I figured this one came out of rage after a conversation. For those of y'all who don't know, I work a day job in a retail pharmacy hellhole, and I started there when I first moved to Nashville. Like the first week that I was there, I was called into the office by the manager at the time, and his name's Steve Carey, and he's not here, so, you know, I can say his name. I can say whatever I want to, but, yeah, his name's Steve Carey. And Mr. Carey invited me into the office, and he offered me a job, considering that I've been with the company for so long, to bump myself up to management training, and I could become a manager and forward my career with the company. And I explained to him, you know, well, I just moved to Nashville, and I moved to Nashville to pursue music, and I need to have flexible hours, so I'd rather stay on the bottom end of the totem pole. And I left out the part about how I don't really care that much for the company anyway. And so that way he wouldn't just tell me to get out. But he then told me he was like, you know, you should, you know, you're 30 years old, you should really start putting away childish things like playing music and focus on your career here at Walgreens. And ironically, he got fired from Walgreens 2 days ago. I salute the vanquished. And I don't know why, but it was just funny to find out that he got fired. Here I am. I'm still the kid asking for like 3 days off so I can go play folk music with these guys, and they're just happy to see me every time I walk back in to do my shift. So it started with that talk with him. This song started with that and ended with a dick joke in the third verse, but we'll get to that later. This song's called Ginsberg. Well, if you're looking for my generation's greatest, mine starts somewhere somewhere below the poverty line between final notices and late day fines. That's where they tend to be. And if you're looking for the truth, that's twice as hard, 'cause nobody wants to put down their guard. It's probably buried in your own backyard. You gotta dig it up yourself to see. You gotta dig it up yourself to see. Hey, hey, Ginsberg, did you get to see this measure of a man before madness took a hold of me? I said, hey, Jon Latham, can you tell me where it's at? You once told me to give peace a chance, but these days I can't imagine that. Well, if you're searching for a song, then you're bound to see stars till you're chasing down words on a cheap guitar. Just another face in a local dive bar who's living off gratuity. If you wanna make ends meet, you gotta first find the ends, but you've already lost before you even begin. Just another mouse on a wheel that spins in cruel perpetuity. In cruel perpetuity. Let her go in. I know it's been a while. Seems all Susanna ever wanted was for you to just crack a smile. Now I'm looking at you, Lou, thinking you a brand new plan. I was walking on the wild side and everybody standing around waiting for their man. They're waiting for you. So some of y'all may have heard we're kicking off this residency tonight, and we're going to do this residency all through May, and then Darrin and Nick and I will be going on the road in June, and it all kind of leads to this last show we're going to do at the end of June at the Grey Eagle, where we'll be opening up for Hayes Carl, which is kind of a cool thing. And I bring that up because Hayes Carl kind of takes place in this little story. See, when I said there's a dick joke in the third verse, I just don't want y'all to think I went blue just to try and get a solid laugh or anything like that. I mean, I do aim that low usually, but not in this case. But just so you know, I'm not an asshole. What happened was, I had like those first two verses swimming in my head after that argument with my boss. And I went that weekend, they were having those Dancing in the District shows out there at Riverfront Park before they built the amphitheater that everybody complains about the noise about every time Beck plays. And we went to go see Raylan Baxter and Hayes Carl, and they played. And nobody complained about the noise because people seemed a lot fucking cooler then. But we were hanging out and we were having a really good time, and we danced to Hayes Carl and we danced to Raylan Baxter. And I was walking 2 blocks uphill to the nearest parking garage, which you can imagine, looking at my stature, it was taking me a minute. I was not trying to get winded in front of the pretty ladies in their sundresses who'd been dancing to Hayes Carl. So I was kind of pacing myself behind this couple that was in front of me, and the girl, she was really, 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 really pretty, and the guy was like kind of an average Joe Schmo. He didn't look as handsome as any of the other dudes on this stage. And certainly wasn't as handsome as Ryan Saab. Can we give him another hand for his opening? But he was an average-looking dude, right? And I was thinking that to myself, but I wasn't going to say anything. And I didn't have to, because coming down the other way was some possible Madison townies who'd made their way over to the other side of the river. One of them was wearing an Insane Clown Posse t-shirt, which got my attention immediately because I don't know if y'all know, but I'm a recovering juggalo myself. And that's another story for another time. His friend wasn't wearing a shirt at all. He was showing off his brand new Viking sword tattoo across his methed out, skinny chest. Looked like they hadn't bathed in a minute. But man, they were looking to party. And they were walking the dog without a leash, or more so the dog was telling them where to go, depending on how many drugs they took that day. And they clocked the same couple in front of me, and they looked at the girl, they looked at the guy, and one of them said, man, it was the one in the Insane Clown Posse t-shirt. He said, man, that guy must have a really kick-ass car. And the one with that t-shirt said, yeah, kick-ass car or a big dick one. which I felt was kind of upsetting. I mean, why sell him short? He might have both. Good for him. But I realized in that moment that I was put there serendipitously by the fates of Nashville or something, because nobody else is going to put that in a song. So I put it on myself to do so right here. Never think anybody would ever hear it. But here we are at the 5 spot. Sorry, Mom. Well, if you're looking for love, don't mistake it for charm. When you got yourself a supermodel on your arm, you got a swinging dick or a badass car. Either way, babe, you're doing just fine. If you're looking for the next place you can call home, first gotta find a way to be alone. A hot carburetor and a dead cell phone. Crossing city limit signs. You're crossing city limit signs. Hey Milwaukee, get me the hell out of here. All you gave me was third-rate baseball and second-rate beer. I said, hey, y'all in St. Paul, you only left me blue. Now I'm packing my bags, trying to figure out what the hell a screw would do. As I leave the Twin Cities to fade away in a rear view. Fade in a rear view. So get back here, whack, even if your story's true. I don't think the road's gonna do for me what it did for you. And I'm sorry, Bob Dylan, can't seem to make your words out. So shut up and give me a train so I have something I can cry about. Yeah, shut up and give me a train so I have something I can cry about. There you go.
There isn't a line I don't like in that song. It also makes me feel like I'm knowledgeable about baseball. And I'm not really sure which team I'm supposed to be rooting for.
In that song, the Milwaukee Brewers were the team that were always brought in to Atlanta on opening day at Turner Field so that the Braves could kick their ass because they never won on opening day. They were like whatever team always plays the Harlem Globetrotters, but the Harlem Globetrotters always win.
Whatever you say, John, I believe it. John says it, I go for it.
I just made that shit up right now. Washington Generals, you know that?
Well, we were just bodies of water. They called us the almost Great Lakes. Our aunts and our uncles, they were glaciers. We had a childhood full of earthquakes. Now that it ain't me, it's just my parents' fault. And erosion, you know, well, it's too tough to stop, but we were great. We're the almost Great Lakes. It's a tall tale, a tall tale, a tall tale, in short. It's a tall tale, a tall tale, a tall tale, in short. Well, the locals, they all told their stories of a creature that swam in our depths. Though we never looked too hard for the truth, we was all satisfied with the myth. Was it shadows in the water or some ungodly fish that sank old man Roy's sturdy ship to its grave at the almost Great Lakes? It's a tall tale, a tall tale, a tall tale, in short. It's a tall tale, a tall tale, a tall tale, in short. you know Hollywood came calling with its black limousines, Gucci ties, saying there's money to be made in this monster. Yeah, there's diamonds all along your shorelines. But the fish just looked fake, and the script was bad. 3 directors, they quit. The leading lady went mad. The whole picture stank, just like the almost Great Lakes. It's a tall tale, a tall tale, a tall tale, in short. It's a tall tale, a tall tale, a tall tale, in short. Well, we were just bodies of water. They called us the almost Great Lakes. Thank you.
Hello, Nicholas.
John?
Yeah, if you know it.
If you know it, you know every song. Yeah. You want to play along?
Yeah.
So the first time I was playing this song, I was playing at this really empty bar in Brooklyn, and there's maybe like 3 or 4 people there. And this guy came up to me after and was like, "Your merchandise at shows should be a box of Kleenex with your name on it." I had a friend named John DeMint. Everybody called him Jack. He lived on Chapel Street in a 1-room clapboard shack. Hadn't kissed a girl since Deb had senior prom in '98. He left her at the party and slipped out the back gate. He always was an odd duck, my mother's fond of saying. He was doing crossword puzzles while the other kids was playing. Jack never had a problem with being on his own. He went out of his way to walk this world alone. One night I asked about it when we were both out of our heads. He looked at me with secret eyes, I leaned in close and said, "I've never told another soul, brother, I confess. The only thing that makes me happy are the pursuit of loneliness." I introduced him to my cousin Pam down at Deborah's pub. They danced to Patsy Cline like 2 people in love. But Jack was a magician. I looked up and he was gone. When he missed the bus to work, I knew something must be wrong. One night I asked about it when we were both out of our heads. He looked at me with secret eyes, leaned in close and said, "I've never told another soul, brother, I confess. The only thing that makes me happy is the pursuit of loneliness." All the lights were on as I knocked hard on his front door. I peeked in through the window. Jack was lying on the floor. One artificial rose gripped tightly in his hand. The coroner said a heart attack. He never stood a chance. And do not cry for Jack DeMint. Let's raise a glass instead. One night with secret eyes he leaned in close and said, "I've never told another soul, brother, I confess. The only thing that makes me happy is the pursuit of loneliness." Well, here's to old Jack and the pursuit of loneliness. Thank you very much. So you can get my Nicknace Kleenex packets down at the merch table.
Y'all mind if I play y'all a new one? It's I dusted this one off at the Radio Cafe on Monday to try it out. This one's like, it's been sitting on a stack of like unfinished stuff. It's that time as a writer when you're just like, you got unfinished things and you don't even know what they are, and half of them turn out to be like songs you've heard Darrin play already. So, but this is a song that actually I started writing and kind of finished a version for her a little while back with, some of y'all know my friend Peyton Parker. We've done some writing together in the past, and I haven't played this song in a while, and I kind of found like the original first draft of my version of the lyrics and realized that there was some stuff there that I could use for myself. And it kind of changes the meaning when you hear it from that. So here's a new old song that has only been played out once. So I'm cautious because I'm in a room full of songwriters. Judge on a Curve. How many times must I struggle before I finally land on my feet? How many days do I have to count before it's alright? How many ways must I say I love you before I hear you say you love me back? How many times have you lost track of what it is you wanted out of life? Please let me know if you want to go, 'cause I've got one foot out the door. We'll take the highway to all of the places we've yet to see. Take what you can carry, 'cause you gotta hold every piece of me. Leave all your doubts wrapped in the wreckage left by every storm we weathered. 'Cause to you, it feels like I'm tethered to something so strong. But if loving me is never enough to answer all of your questions, then it's time that we both learned our lessons and finally moved on. Please let me know if you want to go. I got one foot out the door. We'll take the highway to all the places we've yet to see. Take what you can carry, 'cause you gotta hold every piece of me. Hours pass by as I sit here and I just thinking of where you might be. Maybe the storm will finally shed some light, so you can finally I got one foot out the door. We'll take the highway to all of the places you want to see. Take what you can carry, 'cause you gotta hold every piece of me. Take what you can carry, 'cause you gotta hold every piece of me. Thanks, sir.
So, today is a night of many firsts for me. I got this new guitar, and it's got new strings, and I'm also using a new finger pick. Pressure's on.
That's bionic, Darrin.
Bionic.
He can play it faster. He can play it better.
So I'm gonna try. I've never publicly tried to use this thing, but I've seen everybody I love use it, and believe it or not, I practiced with it. This song is gonna answer why I don't know much about baseball, because of a traumatic incident that happened to me when I was a child involving the sport. The song is called Elmwood Park. It's just another beautiful day here in Elmwood Park. I got my new baseball uniform on, waiting in the back of the family car. Mom waves to the neighbors. The neighbors do the same. You know, I was promised ice cream after the big ball game. Well, the Buick door slams. Dad puts the car in drive. We head down a freshly paved road through an endless blue sky. Dad looks at Mom. Mom looks at Dad. Says if the Democrats win in 60, guess it can't be all that bad. Oh man, don't time fly like a bullet through the brain and out the eye. Those summer days, riding with the top down. Papa's heart's a hose bent. Mama couldn't cry, so the sprinklers wept. Those summer days, riding with the top down. Those summer days, riding with the top down. 'Cause it's just one of those beautiful days here in Elmwood Park. Coach put me out in left field. Man, that walk was far. You know, Dad played shortstop before heading overseas. He said it was thinking on his American toes that helped us beat the Japanese. And that's why they all play baseball now. What a guy. Real smart. Oh man, don't time fly like a bullet through the brain and out the eye. Those summer days, riding with the top down. Papa's heart's a hose bent. Mama couldn't cry, so the sprinklers wept. Those summer days, riding with the top down. those summer days, riding with the top down. Cause it's just one of those beautiful days here in Elmwood Park. Yeah, I'm sitting in the dugout waiting for my turn to be an American baseball star. Coach looks at me, says, "Kid, it's time to take the plate. You know, I'm just one home run away from ice cream after the big ball game." So I grab my bat and I take my stance. I look that belly itcher in the eye and I spit into the sand. Well, the pitcher looks forward. The pitcher looks back. Lets that ball loose. I close my eyes. Swing. And smack. Well, when I came to, you know, my face it was swelled and bruised. I didn't notice the blood until I saw it on my shoes. Well, the crowd had gathered round, but I wouldn't let Dad see me cry. I was just one teardrop away from kissing that ice cream goodbye. And it was Rocky Road, and I like Rocky Road. Oh man, don't time fly like a bullet through the brain and out the eye. Those summer days, riding with the top down. Papa's heart's a hose bent. Mama couldn't cry, so the sprinklers wept. Those summer days, riding with the top down. Those summer days, riding with the top down. That was so much harder than it would sound.
So I moved here a little over 2 years ago, and I'm so happy that I made friends with these nice fellas here. And it kind of blows my mind that I'm up here playing songs with them tonight, to be perfectly honest. But this next number is kind of a song for all you folks out there who do this, and you make something up out of nothing. Well, I've given up on love, burned your wedding gown, given up on concrete and riding on the ground. Tennessee lies waiting like she's known me all along. Well, I've given up on everything for just one more song. I'm putting down my blues, well, I'm giving up this grind. I'm done breaking my back for a shoebox in the sky. I'm leaving here like smoke, a gray memory at dawn. Well, I've given up on everything for just one more song. If anybody asks you, tell them I had to go, chasing melodies down this endless blacktop road. Tell them I'm a dreamer, tell them that I'm gone, that I gave up everything for just one more song, that I gave up everything for just one more song. I've wasted so much time, well, I'm going at full speed, flying or I'm falling, there ain't no in between. I will be a rocket or I'll be your atom bomb. Well, I've given up on everything for just one more song. If anybody asks you, tell them I had to go, chasing melodies down this endless blacktop road. Tell them I'm a dreamer, tell them that I'm gone, that I gave up everything for just one more song, that I gave up everything for just one more song. One day, some night like this, perhaps you'll understand. I'll take out my guitar and I'll count in the band. I'll play this song for you, I hope you'll sing along. Well, I've given up on everything for just one more song. Well, I've given up on everything for just one more song. Well, I've given up on everything for just one more song. Well, I've given up on everything for just one more song. Thank you.
So, open forum. Hey, Darrin.
Yeah.
What was the first CD you ever bought with your own money?
Well, it wasn't a CD. It was a cassette tape of Green Day's Dookie. And I was about 5 years old or something like that. And I still know every word of that album.
Really?
I'm not ashamed of it. I subsequently, as time went on, realized that Kerplunk and the earlier stuff was a better thing, but it was definitely an entry point from Dookie backwards. Then I checked out around Nimrod. That's where I checked out.
So you know this one? I declare I don't care no more. I'm growing up and out and growing bored. They must smoked out book here.
I do, and you're one to check me on most things. Do not fuck with John when it comes to trivia or holding your toes to the fire with song lyrics. It's a battle you will lose.
Indeed.
Hey, Nace, do they have CDs up in Canada?
We were a few years behind you guys.
What was the first CD or cassette or record that you bought?
First,
With your own money. That's the key.
Oh man, I'm a few years older than you guys. It's hard to remember back that far. But a CD. I think my first CD I bought.
Gordon Lightfoot?
Gordon Lightfoot.
Burton
Yes.
Cummings.
Burton Cummings.
The best of Burton
My
Cummings.
mother's favorite mullet. No, I bought, embarrassingly enough, Meatloaf 2 Back into Hell.
True Canadian choice right there.
Cause Nick would do anything for love. Oh, Nick would do anything for love. Nick would do anything for love. But he won't do that.
You know what that is.
So mine's slightly embarrassing because I bought 2 CDs on one trip. The first one I bought was Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipmunks in Low Places. It was Alvin and the Chipmunks doing the country hits of the early 90s. You haven't heard Achy Breaky Heart until you've heard Alvin and the Chipmunks do Achy Breaky Heart. Wash me in your judgment. I don't give a shit. But on the same trip, for some reason or another, I also bought Nirvana's Nevermind.
It's quite a combo.
See which one influenced me more. Probably both. I don't know. I sing pretty high pitched sometimes.
Strong sense of harmony that you got going on.
Well, Theodore was a motherfucker, you know?
I was related to Simon.
You were a Simon man?
Yeah, I was a Simon.
I feel like we're breaking down the Chipmunks like some of my friends break down One Direction.
What's One Direction?
Good question. Hey, Bob Lewis, you're working the bar tonight. Everybody say hi to Bob behind the bar.
Bob.
Hey, Bob, what was the first CD you bought, buddy?
Man, you know, I won a Christmas card contest in French class and also bought Dookies.
They wrote some motherfucking songs, man.
1992, maybe.
Yeah.
Our good friend Crystal Roden's here. Crystal, what'd you buy with your little bit of money for your first CD?
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Yes. I'm very old.
I think we're alone now, but it
Doesn't seem to be anyone around. I think we're alone now.
The beating of our hearts is the only sound. Is Caleb still here?
I am.
What'd you buy with finish your first CD? I know the answer to this already, but I forgot.
I'm from Columbia, South Carolina, so naturally cracked review Hootie the Blowfish. Yeah.
You don't wanna be alone. You don't wanna see the sun go down. That's track 1, side 1 on Cracked Review. I know my shit.
Powerful admittance there, bud.
Hey, baby.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
No, I'm telling you.
Tangled up in blue. Is that on that record?
Yeah, they wrote Tangled Up in Blue, that's right.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He also
It's a
wrote.
deep cut.
He also
Deep
wrote
cut.
Wagon Wheel. I don't know if you know that.
You know that Bob Dylan sued them over that. Off of over taking all those lyrics and putting it in that song, and I think Bob Dylan won.
He has a credit on it now.
He's an asshole.
Dylan or Hootie?
I heard Hootie's a nice guy.
Aren't y'all so happy I said open forum before we got started with this one? This ain't the Bluebird.
I'd like to know what Dave's is.
Oh, Dave Brown, yeah. Well, Dave Brown, what'd you buy a CD on record? I know he's a little bit older than us.
Yeah, I was in college when CDs were invented.
Well, then what was your first record, dude?
The first record I bought, I used my Christmas money to buy an Elvis single at the Woolworths.
What Elvis single?
Elvis covering Tutti Frutti. I was
Come on, man. That's awesome. I guess the point is that we all kind of, I can hear a little bit of a, and I mean this is a compliment, Caleb, I can hear a little bit of a Columbia, South Carolina in you. Because I'm from Greenwood, South Carolina, and that was close enough to Columbia that they claimed Hootie for themselves at the time as well. Because all we had at the time was at Walmart. And I can hear the punk aesthetic in Darrin Bradbury. I can hear the punk aesthetic in Bob Lewis.
I don't really hear the meatloaf in Nick.
He keeps it under wraps, but when we're at the house by himself,
Full volume, man.
especially during co-writes. Inside joke. But you got your stories. This is for everybody who still buys CDs and records with the money that they save up. A whole new generation coming up of them too, man. They figured out their parents' record players, man. They're gonna, 15 years from now, they're gonna rebuy all that Taylor Swift catalog on 180 gram vinyl. And I will rejoice. You got your stories, you found them in a song. Shared them with a girl that you barely even knew. Now she's gone like a ghost, but when it plays, don't you come back strong. Lord, ain't it funny what rock and roll can do? You were burned out in the basement, high uncomfortably numb, but feeling heavy as another brick in the wall, part two. We all grew into the third verse of Bastards of Young. Lord, ain't it funny what rock and roll can do? 4 years of growing up go by like 2 semesters, and every yearbook signature reads like lyrics to you. When you get to hers, it plays like a broken record. She's singing, Lord, ain't it funny what rock and roll can do? Pictures on your wall, torn from your hit parader. They all look like stained glass windows, singing down their hopes to you. But every Toys R Us kid's gotta grow up sooner than later. Still we're singing, Lord, ain't it funny what a rock and roll can do? You'd write your own songs if you could only find the words. For every Wendy that was born to run away from you, now you're just chasing around her heart, doing 33 and a third, and you're screaming, Lord, ain't it funny what rock and roll can do? You got yearbook signatures written all across your page, friends saying, have a nice summer, I swear that I remember you. And to be totally honest, this girl, my junior year of high school, her name was Brandy. She actually wrote this in my yearbook. She was 17 years old at the time, and I should have known she would have gone on to great things, because now she did some work for the Peace Corps. She was a trial lawyer in New Orleans, defending people pro bono. She wrote in my yearbook when we were 17 years old. This is the same girl that introduced me to the song Yesterday by the Beatles. She was absolutely flabbergasted that I'd never heard it before, so she made me a Memorex tape. And both sides was just Yesterday over and over again for 90 minutes. She said to me, if we ever get older, let's swear we'll never act our age. Promise me if we ever get older, let's swear we'll never act our age. Well, Brandy, wherever you are, I'm 35, living with 4 roommates. I swear to God, I'm never acting my age. Lord, ain't it funny what rock and roll? Lord, ain't it funny what rock and roll? Lord, ain't it funny what I imagine a younger Darrin and a younger Bob Lewis sticking that same cassette in different boom boxes somewhere in different parts of the country. Letting those songs wash over them. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? Well, I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it.
It's like you knew me.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Or am I just stoned?
So this one, I sent my grandma my record once, and she lives up in New Jersey, and she didn't talk to me for a couple weeks, and then I called her up. I said, "Grandma, how you feel about the record?" And she looked at me, or it was on the phone. She said, "Darrin, you're a strange bird." So I wrote songs for my grandma. There was a strange bird out on the wire, a peculiar bird, no he couldn't fly. He snuck through the antenna of my RCA TV and out the mouth of Walter Cronkite. Said, "Why'd you come here?" Said, "Coca-Cola, Judas Priest, Captain Crunch, and the strange bird put on this strange hat." So I showed him to the door and I wished him luck. Said, "Where you going?" Said, "Algiers, to find Dwight Yoakam, crack cocaine." And the strange bird tipped his strange hat and walked off singing in the rain. Do, 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 do. Thank you.
Well, since we're on this.
Sounds good.
Is everybody still having a good time? I know we're doing a lot of like sad folk shit.
Also, so you know, the rest of the month won't be set up this way. It'll be set up, I think, Nick, you're doing a band next time, right?
Yeah, next week.
And then John and I will probably open acoustic, and then I'm doing a band.
Yes.
And then John's doing a band. It'll
Close
be,
it out, yes.
I didn't mean to interrupt your part of the broadcast, but I felt like
And we're still going to have some guest people maybe do like a quick opening spot at the front too. So some friends of ours will be here to help us out. So tell your friends, come back out and see us for these early shows. Thank you again to Todd and everybody at the Five Spot for having us. It's a wonderful place to be.
And thank you all.
And tip Bob and everybody working back there. They're working hard for you. And I know Bob Lewis is a good man. So if I find out you didn't tip him, you're going to have to deal with me. I will play a 9-minute song to lull you to sleep, and then I'll bludgeon you.
Well, you know, since we're on the grandparent train,
I didn't know that's where we were.
well, you know,
Your grandparents have a train?
I wish they're dead.
While we're on the dead grandparents,
They're on the heaven train, that big old train over there in heaven. But this this is a song about my grandpa's guitar.
There's a little bit of singing part at the end. You can sing too if you want to.
I got you. I know this.
It's hanging on the wall. My grandpa's old guitar, a bruised and battered Gibson, covered in rough scars. The frets worn deep from fingers and strings, the steel on wood, its heavenly ring. He'd play at family picnics, the ones he knew so well, that old crawdad song and Lefty Frizzell. I remember the last picnic, paper plates and hot dog buns, picking and singing under the hot August sun. He said, I want you to have it, don't worry about them. The uncle's face is jealous, the cousin's face is grim. She needs a good home, and you're the right player. I knocked on his door a few days later. The house was dark and silent, not a soul, not a sound, just my shadow in the driveway and a dog sniffing around. Thinking about girls, I drove back to town. I regret to this day I never made it back down. A week or two went by, the kitchen phone rang. Grandpa's in the hospital, his big heart full of pain. Down at his bedside, well, the mood was sedated. He never did wake up, despite how long we waited. You get a line, now get a pole, honey. You get a line, and I'll get a pole, babe. You get a line, and I'll get a pole, honey. And we'll all go down that crawdad hole. Well, tonight it looks like Jesus, or some faded North Star. It's hanging on the wall, my grandpa's old guitar. You get a line, I'll get a pole, honey. You get a line, I'll get a pole, babe. You get a line, I'll get a pole, honey. And we'll all go down to the crawdad hole. Thanks.
I'm going to keep this on the grandpa train.
Figured you might.
I haven't played this song in years. It's on my first record. I was just telling Caleb up there, I grew up in this little town in the middle of nowhere, South Carolina, called Greenwood, South Carolina. And it's like 2 miles from anywhere of any, 2 miles, shit. 2 hours of anywhere of any significance. Like, it's almost 2 hours out of Greenville. It's about 2 hours away from Clemson. It's about 2 hours away from Columbia. It's 4 hours away from Myrtle Beach. So as a kid, that was a total disaster. But with the exception of my family, my immediate family, when they moved me to Atlanta when I was like three years old, everybody else, for the most part, in my immediate family, all grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, they all still live in this small town in South Carolina. And my dad's dad, his name was Jon Latham, and he took great pride in that. He like whenever I'd spend summers up there with my grandparents, and it was very important to him to know about how the fact that, you know, for a time there, while there wasn't much to see at that point, there was a time when that town was thriving because they had 2 industrial mills there, you know, and they built these 2 mill towns on both sides of town and gave a lot of people jobs and a lot of people homes. And then when both the mills put each other out of business, he said that was a lot of divine comedy in that. But he worked as a driver for the Lance Cracker Company, and he would go around to the different convenience stores and the jailhouses and stuff and refill all the Lance Crackers machines. And usually he'd go in and eat. He enjoyed eating lunch with all the prison guards and stuff like that. So I was the only grandson that got to be taken on that ride one time. He took me on his route, and I got to eat lunch with the prison guards, and I thought that was totally awesome. I'd never been inside a jail before. And I was convinced that my grandfather had actually spent time in jail. That was an interesting conversation to have. So, but anyway, he never left that town, and he loved that town. He loved us. So. Pay attention to your grandfathers. That's kind of like my answer to Stephen Stills and them saying teach your children well. It kind of goes both ways. And when I say it kind of goes both ways, I have to say this too. He fought in the Korean War, right? And he swore up until that point, when he came back, he never ate mashed potatoes ever again, because apparently that's all they had to eat out there. So like at all the family functions, if you brought mashed potatoes, you got left outside. But there's something to be said about the fact that people can change over the years. You know, like one of those things of like, while he was real set in his ways and he was Southern as Southern could be, the last car he bought was a Korean-built Kia car. And that was one of those things where he said, you know, getting older makes you look at things a little bit differently. He was always learning. It's not that note. Over this ground on this pile of dirt, find 18 years of a life of work, driving a truck along the local route, and taught me everything I know what life's about. Lie down with the moon, then you're up with the sun. Don't you dare quit working till the job gets done. Look him in the eye when he shakes your hand. If you can't do your best, then do the best you can. 'Cause I've seen the darker things a man can do. Both know this old town was just too small for you. When you can't carry your heaviest load, just know that it gets better further down the road. I was young at my best and saw war at its gets worse. But love came easy when I put love first. I've done all the living that a man should do. See my kids grow up and raise their kids too. Me, I was born with the eyes that see the best in folks. Made some real good friends and some real bad jokes. The fact that they would all stick around makes me the wealthiest man in this dead mill town. 'Cause I've seen the darker things a man can do. Although this old town was just too small for you. When you can't carry your heaviest load, just know that it gets better further down the road. So wipe the tears from Grandma's face. Have them usher me out to amazing grace. You can find me living in the light of your soul, with homegrown tomatoes and a fishing pole. See, it's what you feel, son, not what you see. Turns out this old town is too small for even me. Now I help you carry your heaviest load. Just know that it gets better further down the road. Just know that it gets better further down the road. Thank y'all very much.
So I wrote this one after I like to doodle a lot in my spare time, or when I'm just sitting around and doing stuff, and I draw little, like, you know, kind of cartoons. I even got one tattooed on me. It's TV Man and a strange bird and all this weird shit. But I drew this one that never really made it to the inside joke level, but it was this, I was just sitting at my desk and I was looking out the window and I was drawing, and I drew this like kind of pocket watch clock. And he had these big muscle dude arms and these like little kind of Mickey Mouse legs that stuck out, and his arms, like the arms of the clock, the hands of the clock were sort of like a mustache. And he ended up, the guy ended up being on this bridge. And I thought it was hysterical to me, the idea of time pushing somebody off something with huge, muscly arms. And then I kind of wrote this song after that. It's called Time Push Jim. So time pushed Jim off a bridge. Time may fly, but Jim don't swim. Shrug your shoulders, shake your head, get a little bit older, go to bed in your dream. Ah, any old dream, nothing crazy, no matter what it is. And if you find your way out of this paper bag, do me a favor, brother, and don't look back. I do the same for you, remember that. Don't look too hard, don't do the math, just dream. Ah, any old dream, nothing crazy, maybe something sweet. You can lie on the floor, stare at the ceiling, put your favorite record on for that old time feeling. Twiddle your thumbs, stare at the wall. Just don't let your haircut be what makes you 10 foot tall. Just dream. Now, so that line about the 10 foot tall haircut, the other thing I didn't really mention about this song, do y'all know Derek Hoke? He plays here every Tuesday night and runs probably one of the best shows in Nashville, $2 Tuesdays. I love his songs, and I kind of wrote this with him in mind. And he's kind of the guy that is sort of a gatekeeper around here. And I imagined him up on this stage, looking over a sea of 16-foot haircuts, aspiring young hipster songwriters. And I imagined him saying that line to them. Don't let your haircut be what makes you 10 foot tall. You can go to Montana, build you a house, set it on fire, walk on out, 'cause fuck it, don't matter now, it was all payola anyhow, so just dream. Ah, any old dream, nothing crazy, maybe something sweet. You can lie on the floor, stare at the ceiling, put your favorite record on for that old time feeling. Twiddle your thumbs, stare at the wall. Just don't let your haircut be what makes you 10 foot tall. You just dream. So time pushed Jim off a bridge. Time may fly, but Jim don't swim. Thank you.
All right, I guess this is my last one. Thank you so much for being here. My name's been Nace. So I was talking to this guy one day about tomatoes. There's like two grown men I wanted to do, and he was from Arkansas, and he was telling me there was a tomato called an Arkansas Traveler. And I was like, that's way too good of a fucking name for a tomato. I'm gonna write a folk song called Arkansas Traveler. So I wrote said folk song called Arkansas Traveler, and then, as any good folk singer, did my research after and found out that the tomato was named such in 1969 at the University of Arkansas. In fact, after an old folk song called Arkansas Traveler. So it's come full circle. It is a tomato named after a folk song, and now a folk song named after a tomato. Hot in Texarkana as I zip up her tight black dress. She shoves lipstick in her purse and shuts the snap. The woman of my dreams, dolled up nightmares since I found out where she goes behind my back. I got a call from a dear friend out there in El Dorado. Said she's wrecking homes down Highway 82. looking in the mirror where she mouths the words I love you like a washed up Sherlock Holmes. I had no clue. She's an Arkansas traveler stepping out in Little Rock, painting the town red like she'll never get caught. She's a two-time diamond right under my nose. She's an Arkansas traveler wherever she goes. Reaching for a bottle of Chanel number 5, she says, don't wait up, I'm staying at Cindy's place tonight. She dabs some perfume behind ears and on wrists, but it won't cover up the stench of her life. She's an Arkansas traveler stepping out in Little Rock, painting the town red like she'll never get caught. She's a two-time diamond right under my nose. She's an Arkansas traveler wherever she goes. I can see her laughing at some handsome stranger's joke. Can see his hand moving softly up her thigh, unlocking the doors of some seedy motel. She hangs up the do not disturb sign. My head is hot and full of rage. I want to yell and scream, tell her that I hope she rots in hell. But I sit here quietly, biting on my tongue, because the highway knows that I'm a traveler as well. We are Arkansas travelers stepping out in Little Rock, painting the town red like we'll never get caught. We are two-time diamonds right under my nose. We are Arkansas travelers wherever we go, wherever we go. Oh, thanks, guys.
All right. I want to say, too, that if you like, give it up again for our good friend Nick Nace. We're so happy to have him with us. And Nick and Darrin and I think we all three have merch in the back, so if you like what you heard and you just kind of stumbled in here figuring what's this deal, we've got some stuff back there to sell you if we haven't sold it to you already at past shows here at the 5 Spot. So be sure to come over and say hi. This is a song I actually wrote with Darrin. And Darrin, since you kind of wrote, I like when you kind of tell this story. This is on my most recent record called Lifers, and the genesis of this story, as far as I'm involved, was the night when Darrin met me at this weird little bar called Daisy Duke's out on Franklin Pike before it turns into 8th Avenue.
This is true. We were sitting in a parking lot, and I guess we were both fairly new to town. Now we're like 5 years in. This is probably a year or two in, right? Maybe
Something like that, yeah.
And
I was still just playing over at Belcourt Taps all the time. I'd never been to East Nashville at that point.
I wanted to get you over here because I like you over here. Anyhow, so I had this kind of chorus running through my head. I had this high school sweetheart who I was very close to her mom, and her mom is very much the lady in this song. And most of the time when I write, I just try to make myself chuckle. If something makes me chuckle, then I figure, maybe it might make you chuckle. I really had a strong connection with both the high school sweetheart and her mom. Kind of became a mom to me, and she died a little too young, in her late 40s, maybe about almost 10 years ago. And in all my travels, I actually used to keep a picture of her in my wallet. And she's just a one of a kind lady. And her name was Kimberly, and I come up with this goofy chorus and showed it to Jon, and he kind of took it and wrote the rest of the song and then showed it to me a week later, and since then it's probably been the proudest song that I've ever been involved with in town, and I think that Jon did a really great job just doing this person that was in my head that I knew complete justice, and the part of time that she was trapped in. So without further ado, here's the tune.
The song's called Kimberly Met Billy, alternately titled The Ballad of Randy Rhoads, Flying V. If you know it, sing it with us, why not? Billy found a spot where he could finally park his dreams, between the polka dots on Randy Rhoads, Flying V, rocking out to Crazy Train, revving the engine of his car, with a weakness for any girl who dressed just like Pat Benatar. Well, Kimberly hung the pictures on her wall so carefully, each one the perfect fixture of the boys on MTV. Diamond Dave would watch the clock, Rick Springfield would watch her sway, Corey Hart looked out the window while Billy Idol sneered away. But Kimberly met Billy leaning on the back of his beat-up Chevy at the 1987 Eddie Money Summer Tour. It was love at first sight as they sang Take Me Home Tonight. And 8 months and 3 weeks later, well, you, my love, were born. Well, Kimberly and Billy cuddled neath the blankets in his back seat, both pants around their ankles, empty beer cans at their feet. The concert long been over, still that song rang through their heads. They would be each other's little baby, just like Ronnie said. Everybody sang Kimberly met Billy, leaning on the back of his beat-up Chevy at the 1987 Eddie Money Summer Tour. It was love at first sight as they sang Take Me Home Tonight. And 8 months and 3 weeks later, well, you, my love, were born. They didn't know how far it would go. They were just working for the weekend and letting the good times roll, 'cause Rick Ocasek told them so. The engine just as Kimberly came to, fast enough to see the Civic Center lights fade out of view. They went searching through the static for a song they couldn't find, contemplating the mathematics in the summer of '69. Everybody sing now. Kimberly met Billy, leaning on the back of his beat-up Chevy at the 1987 Eddie Money Summer Tour. It was love at first sight as they sang Take Me Home Tonight. And 8 months and 3 weeks later, well, you, my love, were born. 8 months and 3 weeks later, well, you, my love, you were born. Thank y'all very much.
So here we are at the end of our evening. Did y'all have a good time? We sure do hope that you come back and hang out with us next week. We'll be doing this for the rest of the month. There will be cool surprise guests. There will be folk singers you've probably never heard before that you should come out and check out, like Mr. Ryan Saab. Can we hear it for him? Before we go, I want to say thank you once more to the 5 Spot for having us. And can we also hear it once again for Nick Nace and Jon Latham, two of the finest songwriters I've had the pleasure of knowing. This song is about 3 individual characters, Jack Kerouac, Lenny Bruce, and Daffy Duck, alternately titled Life is Hard, the ballad of Jack Kerouac, Lenny Bruce, and Daffy Duck. And all are welcome to sing on this business. You know, it's he knows. John's ear is fantastic. Kerouac died with the TV on in his mother's house in Florida. His liver was yellow, his wallet was broke. He hated hippies, but he loved the Pope. Life is hard. Ah, heck, man, life is hard. It's funny where it stops. It's funny where it starts. The whole thing in the middle is bound to break your heart. Life is hard. Well, the cops, they found Lenny on the bathroom floor. Guess the court transcripts, they weren't funny no more. Subpoenas ain't setups, the stand it ain't a show. I guess naked on the floor was his last dirty joke. Life is hard. Ah, heck, man, life is hard. It's funny where it stops. It's funny where it starts. The whole thing in the middle, yeah, it's bound to break your heart. Life is hard. Hey, John, you want to sing the bridge? Yeah, I can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone I know is full of shit. It's the only surefire way to tell if someone's human. Life is hard. 1, 2, 3. One more person I'd like to thank. Well, people, and I firmly believe this from the bottom of my smoke-burned heart, that a show is only as good as the audience. So thank you for being here. We're all wonderful to play for. In the famous last words of Daffy Duck, it's the best trick I know, but I can only do it once. The pills and the suit, they were all ready to go. There ain't nothing you can do if Jon Latham and Nick Nace steal the show. Life is hard. Ah, fuck, man, life is hard. It's funny where it stops. It's funny where it starts. The whole thing in the middle, yeah, it's bound to break your heart. heart, life is hard.
We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you.
Come say hi.
I have to pee.